Imagine a battlefield where missiles are no longer needed, where enemy drones and boats are destroyed instantly. No explosions, no smoke, just a powerful beam of light. This might sound like something from a sci-fi movie, but it's real. The US Navy now has a laser weapon that can take out threats in seconds. But should we be worried? For years, the military has focused on making weapons faster, stronger, and more deadly. But now, the Navy is using something completely different: laser technology. Instead of firing expensive missiles, their new laser system called HELIOS can fire unlimited shots using just electricity. The Navy has already tested this weapon, burning drones out of the sky and stopping small boats with incredible accuracy. This raises an important question. Is this the future of war? And is it something to fear? Laser weapons may be innovative invention, but they also bring big concerns. Will traditional weapons become useless? What happens if other countries build even stronger lasers? And will lasers be used against humans in the future? In this video, we'll break down what HELIOS is, how it works, and what it means for the future of war. Should we be excited or scared? What is HELIOS? The US Navy's new laser weapon, called HELIOS, is not just a prototype, it's already being used. HELIOS stands for High Energy Laser with Integrated Optical-dazzler and Surveillance, and it is one of the most advanced laser weapons in the world. Unlike traditional weapons that fire bullets or missiles, HELIOS fires a beam of intense light. This beam is so powerful that it already can burn through enemy drones, boats, and even some aircraft in just seconds. HELIOS has been installed on the USS Prey Bull, a US Navy destroyer, as part of its defense system. This means it can detect, track, and destroy threats automatically, without needing to reload like a traditional gun. The system also includes an optical-dazzler, which can blind enemy drones and disrupt surveillance before they even get close. But while HELIOS sounds like the perfect weapon, it's not without its weaknesses. We'll discuss those concerns later. For now, let's look at what HELIOS can actually do. How powerful is it in real combat? The results of HELIOS are terrifyingly effective. One of the biggest demonstrations of the HELIOS system happened aboard the USS Prey. In these tests, HELIOS successfully shot down multiple drones, proving that it can take out aerial threats with pinpoint accuracy. These drones were designed to simulate enemy surveillance or attack aircraft, but they didn't stand a chance. Within seconds of being locked on, they were burned out of the sky. But HELIOS isn't just for drones. In another test, the laser was aimed at a small enemy boat, the type that might be used in swarming attacks by hostile forces. The laser was able to disable and damage the vessel without a single explosion, just a precise, invisible beam of energy cutting through its target. Despite multiple limitations, the US Navy sees HELIOS as a major step forward. The goal is to keep improving laser weapons until they can defend against even bigger threats, like enemy fighter jets or ballistic missiles. Next, let's look at why laser weapons like HELIOS are such a big deal and why the military is investing so much in them. Let's discuss the advantages of laser weapons. HELIOS is a game changer for modern warfare. The US Navy is investing in this technology for a reason. It offers huge advantages over traditional weapons. First, unlimited ammo. You can fire as much as you want. One of the biggest advantages of HELIOS is that it never runs out of ammunition. Missiles and bullets need to be stored and reloaded, but a laser weapon just needs electricity. As long as the ship has power, HELIOS can keep firing again and again, making it a perfect defense system. Second, it's super cheap to fire. A single missile can cost anywhere from $100,000 to over $1 million. In contrast, HELIOS can fire a laser beam for just a few dollars in electricity. This means the Navy can save billions of dollars in the long run. Instead of wasting expensive missiles on cheap drones, a laser can eliminate threats for a fraction of the cost. Third, speed of light attack. There is no escape. Missiles and bullets travel fast, but nothing is faster than light. When Helios locks onto a target, it hits instantly. No delay, no dodging, no escape. A drone, boat, or even a missile can be destroyed the moment it's detected, making it almost impossible for enemies to react in time. Next, silent and invisible. Unlike traditional weapons, Helios doesn't make a sound and doesn't create a big explosion. The enemy won't hear it coming until it's too late. Since the laser is invisible to the human eye, it's difficult to track or avoid. Fifth, less collateral damage. Missiles and bullets explode on impact, which can cause unintended destruction. Helios, on the other hand, only affects the target it's aimed at. This means less risk to civilians and surrounding areas, a huge advantage in crowded or sensitive locations. Let's discuss the future of laser weapons. Right now, Helios is just the beginning. Future laser systems could be even more powerful, capable of destroying larger ships or even hypersonic missiles. Some experts believe that lasers will eventually replace most traditional weapons, making naval warfare completely different from what we know today. Some people worry about what happens when other countries develop their own laser weapons. Next, let's look at the biggest concerns and limitations of Helios. Helios and other laser weapons may sound like the future of warfare, but they're not perfect. While they offer many advantages, there are still major challenges and concerns that could limit their effectiveness. To start, the weather can weaken the laser. Unlike missiles or bullets, which work in any condition, lasers struggle in bad weather. If there's fog, rain, dust, or smoke, the laser beam can scatter and lose power before it reaches its target. This means that in some environments, Helios might not work as well as expected. It also has a huge energy consumption. A laser powerful enough to destroy drones and boats needs a massive amount of electricity. Right now, Helios relies on the ship's power supply, which limits how long it can fire. If the ship's energy is needed elsewhere, the laser might not be able to fire at full strength. In the future, more powerful versions of Helios may require special power sources, like advanced batteries or even nuclear reactors. Third, Helios can't attack everything. While Helios is great at taking out small drones and boats, it's not strong enough to destroy large aircraft, big ships, or ballistic missiles. At least, not yet. The Navy still needs traditional missiles and weapons to deal with bigger threats. Then there is a risk of an arms race. The US isn't the only country working on laser weapons. China, Russia, and other military powers are also developing their own high-energy lasers. If laser technology keeps improving, it could lead to a new arms race, with countries rushing to build even more powerful and deadly laser weapons. Countermeasures. As with any new weapon, enemies will look for ways to defend against it. Some possible countermeasures include reflective coatings on drones and missiles to reduce laser damage, swarm tactics, where enemies send hundreds of small drones at once to overwhelm the laser's ability to fire continuously, and electromagnetic interference, which could affect the laser's targeting systems. And last, there are ethical and political concerns. The idea of a silent, invisible, and unstoppable weapon raises serious ethical questions. Should laser weapons be used against human targets? What happens if they're used in civilian areas? Could they be hacked or misused? These are questions that military leaders and governments still need to answer. What's next for Helios? Despite these concerns, the US Navy is fully committed to laser weapons. Helios is just the beginning. Future versions could be stronger, faster, and even more reliable. The big question is, will laser weapons make the world safer or more dangerous? Next, let's look at how Helios is changing global military power and what other countries are doing in response. The US Navy's Helios system isn't just a powerful new weapon, it's changing the balance of military power worldwide. Other countries are watching closely, and some are already working on their own laser weapons, like was mentioned before. Right now, the US Navy is ahead in deploying laser weapons on active warships, but that advantage won't last forever. Other military powers, especially China and Russia, are developing their own laser systems. If they catch up, the US could lose its edge in naval warfare. China has already tested ship-mounted lasers, and Russia claims to have laser weapons that can disable enemy satellites. If these countries make their own versions of HELIOS, the battlefield could become a race for deadlier lasers. Then there is another question. Could lasers replace missiles? Right now, HELIOS is part of a defense system. This means it's not a complete replacement for missiles. But in the future, advanced laser weapons could change the way wars are fought. Instead of firing expensive missiles, ships and planes could use energy-based weapons for nearly unlimited attacks. Will lasers be used against people? So far, laser weapons like HELIOS are used for defensive purposes, stopping drones and more. But as technology improves, could we see lasers used directly against human targets? This is a major ethical concern, and international laws may need to change to prevent the misuse of this technology. What happens next? HELIOS is just the first step in a new era of military technology. Whether it makes the world safer or more dangerous depends on how it's used and how other countries respond. Next, let's wrap up with what this all means. Laser weapons were once the stuff of science fiction. Now, they are real and already in use. HELIOS is just the beginning. This technology is advancing fast, and in the near future, warships, aircraft, and even ground forces could be equipped with powerful laser weapons that never run out of ammo, fire at the speed of light, and destroy threats instantly. But should we be excited or scared? On one hand, HELIOS could make warfare cheaper and more precise, reducing the need for expensive missiles and preventing mass destruction in combat zones. A weapon that silently neutralizes threats without explosions sounds like a step toward a safer world. But on the other hand, this could be the start of a new arms race, with China, Russia, and other countries competing to build even deadlier lasers. As this technology improves, laser weapons could be used against larger targets, including human soldiers or even satellites. This raises serious ethical concerns and could change the way wars are fought forever. So, is HELIOS the ultimate defense system or a terrifying step toward a new kind of warfare? That depends on how the world reacts to this technology and whether it can be controlled before it spins out of control. What do you think? Are laser weapons the future of war or something we should fear? Don't forget to subscribe and let us know in the comments.